Hello. So I will start my talk now. So Ayubowan and hello to everyone. I'm Dr. Michelle. So I am here to talk about the wisdom of Ayurvedic herbs and the spices, right? So I have some specimen here. So I will show you one by one as well, right? So this talk includes what is spices and how we use the spices in Ayurvedic medication preparation, right? So is everyone is hearing me? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay. So the spices, right? So spices are aromatic plant substances. So we collect those spices from the flowers, leaves, and the bark, some flower buds, and some raisins as well. Okay. So these spices are used for the flavoring and enhance the taste of the food and for the preservative and to add the color as well, right? So in Ayurveda, we also use the spices specifically for medicinal preparation. So we call it as prakshepa dravya. So which means we are adding those spices in the final stage of the production. So it is help for the preserve the potency and for the aroma, so, and to the enhance the effectiveness on medications and to the digestion and the absorption of the medicines. So it helps in those stuffs. Okay. So, and these spices has the specific healing properties as well. Okay. So now I will explain few of the our spices and the taste and the qualities of that and how dosha is involved or the impact of the dosha of the spices and some few remedies how you can use in your kitchen, right? So first of all, I'm going to explain about this one. So you know, right? So what are these things? So this is a garlic, right? So the garlic has the pungent taste, right? So everyone think like a garlic have only the pungent taste, but it has like a five taste except the sour taste. Okay. So it has like a sweet, sour, pungent, and bitter, and the astringent. Okay. So it useful for the boosting your immunity and the detoxification and in some respiratory illness also is helpful. Okay, so it is like a hot in potency, this garlic, right? So you can smell it, it's like a pungent taste. So it's hot in potency, it's like a sharp and the piercing qualities there, and it also help for the improve the circulation. Okay, so it usually balance the kapha and the vata energy, but because of the pungent and the hot potency, it will increase the pitta energy. Okay, so how to use the garlic in as a remedy? So you can use as a cooking, for the cooking purpose you can use, and as a herbal tea, how you can use it, right? So you can use one piece of garlic. You can soak it overnight. Then you can add some honey to it, like a 1 teaspoon of honey. Then you can mix like a tea and you can have it. So it is so much beneficial in the cardiac illnesses and in some osteoarthritis also is helpful. Okay. So there is another remedy called you can like a chop up this garlic and you can add in a airtight container and you can add some honey onto it. Okay, so you have to keep it for like a 2 days. Then after 2 days, you can have it after the dinner. Okay, so it helps for like a lowering your blood pressure level. Okay, so the we can move to the next spices. So that is the black pepper, right? So you know the black pepper, right? So it's like a seed. So this is the black powder, and this is the black pepper. Okay, so this black pepper also pungent in nature, right? So the smell is like a pungent. So it also like a light in nature. It is strong. It has the quality of penetrate. Okay, so what are the qualities of the black pepper if we can say? So it is like a boosting your metabolism and cure some respiratory illness and helpful in some neurological disorders, and it also help as a bioavailable enhancer. Okay, so it also like a helpful for reduce the toxins in our body. Okay, so what are the dosha impact of these black pepper, right? So those are like it will balance the kapha and the vata energy. Because of the pungent and the strong, it is increasing the pitta energy. Okay, so you can use uh, like a pinch of black pepper in a, like a 1 teaspoon of honey. Then you can mix it and you can have like a paste. So it helpful during the cold, phlegm, and the flu. Even to boost your immunity level is helpful. Okay, so it also you can chew like a 1 or 2 peppercorns. So it's helpful in the coffee, not the chronic one, acute one. Okay, so the next spices we are moving on to the cardamom, right? So cardamom is like a aromatic, as you know. Your smell is so aromatic, right? So the cardamom we can use the beads of the cardamom. If you can open it, these are the beads. So we can use the beads for the cooking and for the spices, right? So the cardamom is also pungent and the bitter taste, right? It also like a light in nature. It is dry in nature as well. So it will stimulate your metabolism and detoxify your body and to relieve the gas and for the treat some respiratory illness, and it acts as a mouth freshener, the natural one. Okay, so if you feel like you have the bad breath, you can use the natural mouth freshener, right? So how this uh, impact our body, how the dosha involves in the cardamom, right? So it usually balance all three doshas, right? So but if you're having this thing in a like a larger quantity or like a more than like a five, so then it will increase your pitta energy, right? So the quantity matters in every time, right? So you can use the powder of the cardamom with the honey, and for you can apply over stomatitis in your mouth, so it will relieving those stomatitis. Okay, so then you can have like a few like a 1 or 2 of the cardamom, and you can add some few like a 5 cloves and you can boil it. You can have this remedy as a uh, like a preventing for the cough hiccup. Okay, so when you're having cough is helpful. Okay, so next one. So can you guess what are these? What I'm going to show you? It's the nutmeg. Okay, so this is the nutmeg fruit. Okay, so you might have seen it. I don't know. So this is the nutmeg with the in the seed. So it has some like you can see the like a reddish layer, right? So this is good for like a chewing. So most of the spices we are using these the red raisins or like red gum we can say. So to make our like some masalas. Okay. So even especially in India, they are using as making the garam masala. This one, the this peel. Okay. So if we cut open the nutmeg, it look like this. Okay, so this is like a highly aromatic spices. So it is like a highly aromatic, right? So it's like smelling so good. So it has the like bitter and astringent taste. It also have the sweet taste in the last. Okay, so it is light in nature and it's like unctuous, which means like a oily. Okay, so it is how it's helpful in our body, right? What are the benefits, if we can say? It is like a helpful in the digestion. It is like a promoting the restful sleep and for the relaxation and for the reducing the pain and supporting the heart health, and it acts as a potent sedative. Okay, so it's also like an anxiety reliever, and it also acts as a expectorant. Okay, so it has the antibacterial agent as well. Okay, so the dosha impact of the nutmeg. right? So we can say it's like it balances the vata and the kapha, and it will increase the pitta energy. So most of the spices are increasing the pitta energy. Okay. So how we can use this in a daily basis, right? So when you have like a stress, or when you feel like you don't have enough sleep, or like a disturbed sleep, right? So or a anxiety attack, you can have like a pinch of nutmeg powder into the warm milk, then you can have a sip. So it will calm down your nerves instantly, and for the get the better sleep. Okay. So whichever you are using in a daily, don't use in a regular basis. Try to change it. For example, don't take the make powder every time, every day for the sleep or like a stressful condition. You can use other stuffs as well. I will mention further. Okay. So the next spices we are moving into the caraway seed. So caraway seed is not available here. Okay, wait, give me a second. So caraway seed is also pungent in nature, and so the caraway seed also help in digestion and helpful like um in the weight management. Yes. Okay. So wait. Yes. So this is the caraway seed, right? So it's okay. Okay, the caraway seeds I will mention. So caraway seed is like a light in nature and dry in nature. It also like enhance the digestion, and it also helps to reduce the toxin, and for the weight management also is helping. Okay, so it also helps to stimulate your appetite, we can say, right? So it usually balance the vata and the kapha energy, but it will increase the pitta energy. Okay, so you can use like a boiled caraway seed for the weight management. You can dry roast it, and you can add some black pepper, like a black pepper and some curry leaves. You can boil together, so it helps in a weight management. Okay, so next spices we are moving on to is cumin. Okay, so you know the cumin, right? So you must use the cumin. You must have used the cumin. So this is the cumin seed. So it's also like highly like a fragrant, right? So it is like a bitter, and the astringent taste is also light in nature, and it is like a relieving the gas especially. And if you have the diarrhea, it's helpful. Okay, if you have like a abdominal pain, it's helpful for the detoxification and to boost your immunity level. It's helpful again. So increasing the metabolism also is helping, and to reduce the inflammation on the skin condition. So it also helping. Okay, so it also help to burn the fat. Okay, so you can like boil 1 to 3 gram of the cumin seed, and you can add some crystal sugar. Okay, so it helpful like in a urinary diseases and leukorrhea is so much beneficial. Okay, so what are the dosha involved, or what are the dosha impact, we can say, right? So that is like it reduce the vata and the kapha energy, but if you are taking like in a lot more, it will increase your pitta energy. Okay, so you can use the cumin seed for the weight loss as well. So you can dry roast it, and you can put some water, like 1 cup of water, and you can add some curry leaves. So that boil it, then you can have it in the morning, not in the empty stomach. So before breakfast, you can have it. Okay. So the next thing we are moving on to the basil leaf. So basil leaf also is not available here. So 1 minute. Yes. So I will share the picture of the basil leaf. So this is the basil leaf, right? So yeah, so this is the basil leaf. So basil leaf also pungent and bitter taste, right? So it is also dry in nature. It also helping to boost your immunity level, and it also help to reduce the stressful, and it helpful for the promote the longevity also is helping, and to balance the cortisol level also is helping, and for some emotional stability also is helping. Okay, so most of the Italian they're using the basil leaf for the pasta or a pizza, right? So don't overuse it, otherwise you can use it in a moderation. Okay, so it is also balancing the vata and the kapha energy, and but it will also increase the pitta energy. Okay, so some basil leaf it has the cold potency. So when if you're having like a flu, cold or phlegm, don't overuse it. Okay, so over and in the winter season, try to limit it. Okay, so the next thing we are moving into the coriander seeds. So you know the coriander seeds, right? So this is the coriander seed. So if you crush it, you can smell it, right? That's other spices, right? So the coriander seed is like a cooling in nature. Okay. So it's helpful for the pitta pacification. Okay. So the coriander seed is like have the two benefits. So the raw coriander seed have different and the roasted coriander seed have different one. Okay. The raw coriander seed is so much cooling, and the roasted coriander is like opposite of that. Okay, so if you have like a burning sensation in your body, or the some irritation in your body, or if you feel like the some inflammation in your body, or if you want to flush out the toxins, you can use the coriander seed. Okay, so you can use like in different ways. So you can boil 2 or 3 grams of the coriander seeds in the 40 ml of water. You can soak it overnight. Then in the morning you can filter it and you can have it, right? So it's so much beneficial in the urinary disorders and to vomiting, and the restlessness is also is helping. Okay, this coriander. Okay, so roasted coriander seed, you can like a dry roast it and you can add some water. So start boiling it. Then you can add some chopped ginger to it, right? So this combination act as a immune booster. Okay. So it also helpful in the flu, cold, or a phlegm. Okay. So the dosha impact of the coriander seed is like balancing the all three doshas. Okay. So yeah. So we are moving to the next spices. That is the clove. Okay, so clove also is like a highly aromatic, right? So clove, how to choose the proper clove, right? So you have the question of that, right? So if you crush it, you can see some oil particle. So that is the like a best variety of clove. Okay, so the clove also pungent in nature, bitter, and the light in nature, right? So let me show you the cloves. So it also anxious. So it also like how it's helpful in our body daily routine, right? So it is like promoting the circulation, and and in the digestion also is helping, and to enhance the metabolism also is helping, and to relieve the pain, especially the or like a oral cavity pain. So if you have like a toothache or something, you can chew or you can keep it inside the like a tooth, or you can like crush it and the let the oil of the clove is like absorb. So it's relieving the toothache, and in some respiratory congestion also it's helping. So, and in some arthritis and the joint pains, and it acts as a fight against the oral hygiene. Okay, so it means like oral hygiene. So, for the oral cavity, this clove is the best thing. Okay, so how the dosha is involved? So, it is like balancing the vata and the kapha energy. So, because of the pungent taste, it will increase the pitta energy. So, that's why we should not use any spices. Okay, so any you should not overuse any spices. Sorry. Okay, so you can boil this as I mentioned with the cumin, and you can like make a tea, herbal tea, then you can have it. Okay, so for the boost immunity level. Okay, so the next spices we are moving into is the cinnamon. Okay, so the Sri Lanka have the best variety of cinnamon, right? So yeah, cinnamon. So this is also aromatic. That's why it's called spices, right? So aromatic. So this is what are the taste of the cinnamon if we wonder? That is like a pungent and bitter and the sweet nature. Okay, that also light in nature and dry in nature, and it also like a powerful warming spice. Okay, so it help to strengthen your immunity level and stimulate your digestive power fire, and it helps to reduce the toxins, and to the weight management it also helping. Okay, so regulate your blood sugar level also is helping, and to regulate your cortisol level also is helping, and it is like an anti-inflammatory. Okay, so how the dosha is involved in the cinnamon? So it is like reducing the or balancing the vata and the kapha energy, but it will increase the pitta energy again. Okay, so that's how it work. So how we can use as a remedy, right? So you can use like a 1/4 of powder of the cinnamon, and you can add like a 1 teaspoon of honey on it. Okay, so you can have it like that. So it's helpful to boost the immunity level, and to sinusitis is so much beneficial. Okay, so you can have like a boil the cinnamon stick or cinnamon powder and the black pepper, and you can boil it to until you can feel like a smelly. Okay, so until it cooked, we can say, right? So then apply like a one like a half of a lemon squeeze on it, and you can have it. So it also helpful to manage your blood cholesterol level. Okay, these are the few remedies I can say. Okay, so next we are moving to the spices which we called as the ginger. All right, so this is a universal herb, universal spice we can say. Okay, so what are the like the taste of the ginger, right? So this also, if you smell it, it's like a pungent, right? It's like a pungent, light, and it also like a oily, which means unctuous is there. Okay, so it also like a heavy, which means the dried ginger is like heavy in nature, but the fresh one is light, and it also dry in nature, and it is like a sharp. Okay, slash sharp means like it's penetrate. Okay, so how is helping in our body system we can say. So it is like boosting your agni, which means your digestion, and reducing armor and improves the circulation and eases the respiratory issues, and it also help to elevate the nausea, and also act as an immune booster, and to purify the blood it also helping, and especially in the weight management is helpful. Okay, so what are the dosha is involved? So if we have this ginger regularly or in a large quantity, how it affect our body? How it affect the doshas in our body, if we can say, right? So this is also decreasing the balance the vata and the kapha energy, but because of the pungent and the dish, pungent taste, it is increase the pitta energy. Okay, so while you are using these spices, be mindful about not overuse it. Okay. So how you can use this ginger as a home remedy, right? So you can use like a ginger, turmeric, and you can make a you can boil the ginger and you can add some like a turmeric to it as a herbal tea. It is helpful in the cold and the congestion and the cough is so much helpful. Okay, so if you boil the ginger, fennel, licorice, and cumin, so it is so much beneficial in the PMS. Okay, premenstrual syndrome. Okay, so you can use that one as well. So the next spices we are moving into is the uh, turmeric. You can see turmeric, right? So what are the taste of the turmeric if you can wonder? So that is like a bitter taste and the pungent. right? So it's also like a dry in nature. So how is helpful in our body, right? So the punch, like the turmeric, right? So it's like a yellowish color, right? So it is like a helpful to purify the blood, to improve the skin health also is helping, and to reduce the inflammation because this is the best anti-inflammatory we can find, right? So it also help to the detoxifying your body and repair the tissues. It also acts as a natural antibiotic. Okay, so it also helpful in the liver functions and to elevate the joint pain and to manage the cholesterol level also is helping. So extensively we can use as the in the rheumatic condition. So you can apply like a paste with it and you can apply over the rheumatic arthritis or if you feel like any pain there, you can apply over. So it's like the reduce the inflammation. Okay, so how we can use the turmeric in our daily basis. You can use for the cooking, right? So you can use like a half teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of honey for the hoarseness of your voice. Okay, so if you feel like something like your voice is like hoarseness or you feel like some like a pain or struggling with the voice, you can use the turmeric and the honey paste. Okay, so how it also excellent to like calm down your nerves and for the better sleep, right? So you can use as a golden milk. You know the golden milk, right? So you can boil the milk of your choice and you can use like a 1 pinch of turmeric and you can add it. Then it's helpful for the calm down your nerves and for the better sleep. Okay. So and even you can add some black pepper to it if you are using the cow's milk because that's cold in nature. Okay. So you can use for the throat irritation, a pinch of turmeric, and in a saline water, which means salt water, warm water, you can add pinch of turmeric and you can gurgle it. So it's helpful in throat irritation as well. Okay, you can try these simple remedies at your home for the better life. Okay, so there's more spices as well. So next spices I'm going to explain is the red chili. Okay, so we use tremendously, right? So in Sri Lanka or in most of the like a hot region, like a Mexico, like in Thai, everywhere they are using the chili, right? So the chili is somewhat is good, but it also not good. Okay, so I will explain why. So this is like a pungent in nature, right? It's also like a sharp. Sharpness means like it has the penetrating effect. So it also like a dry and light in nature. It is stimulate your digestion and for the stimulate the metabolism as well and it will help for the blood circulation. Okay, but so we should not overuse this thing because the pitta is involved. It will increase the pitta energy, right? So if you are overusing it, if you are using in a big quantity to cook, okay, so it will cause the irritation, it will cause the heartburn. In some cases, it will cause the skin issues as well, like the rashes or some hives, or it will increase the pitta energy. That's why I mentioned. Okay, so it also, if you are using in excess, it also cause the peptic ulcers and it also not good for our brain if you're overusing it, okay, because it will stimulate our brain cells unnecessarily. Okay, it's like caffeine, so try not to overuse it. You can use like a small quantity. Okay, so this is the red chili. So now we are moving to the next spices. Next spices I want to talk about is the curry leaves. Okay, so it's like because of the hot, it's look like this. Yeah, this is the curry leaves. Yes, this is the curry leaves, right? So, what are the taste of the curry leaves if you wonder? So, it is like a astringent in taste, bitter, and the sweet taste is involved. So, this was the light in nature, and it's like unctuous, which means oily. So, how is helpful in our body, up in our daily routines, right? So, it is like aiding in the digestion, and it also acts as an appetizer. It also acting as a blood purifier and it is the best to maintain your cholesterol level and to weight management. Okay, it is helping, and for the hair also is so much beneficial. Okay, so because in Ayurveda or in any herbs, we are mentioning there are some specific quality mentioned. Okay, so the curry leaves is mentioned as best to cassia, which means for the hair growth. Okay, so it also like a high nutrition content, so it also helps to detoxify our body and improves the um, nutrition absorption. Okay, so that is the curry leaves. Okay, so if you can see what are the dosha is involved in curry leaves. So this is mostly balancing the pitta and the kapha energy. Okay, so yeah, so you might wonder why is vata, they are not balancing the vata, right? So because it's astringent property, okay, and the sweet is sweet in nature, right? So that's why. So you can use, as I mentioned, the roasted cumin and the curry leaves tea is good for the weight management. Okay, you can try that one. So next, we are moving into another leaf, another herb that is called this one. So do you know any idea of what is this? So this is the pandan leaf. Okay, so we use this pandan leaf for some of our curries, and in South, like East Asia or South Asia, they are using as some paste or some juice to make some cake or some pudding. They are using the pandan leaves. Okay, so this is kind of like a fiber, it's like it's kind of hard to break down. Okay, so we used to put in the oil this pandan leaves. So this is what are the taste involved in the pandan leaves, right? So if you wonder, that is a pungent taste, and it also have the cooling property. Okay, so it is like reduce the inflammation and elevate the pain. It also useful in the rheumatic conditions. Okay, so it also helpful in headache and headache and the insomnia also is helping, and in some skin condition also is helpful. Okay, so as I mentioned, this has the cooling property, right? It also a calming agent, so that's why during the insomnia this calm down your nerves for the better sleep. Okay, so it also help the quality of sleep. Okay, so it also helpful in the aromatherapy because it's also so aromatic. Okay, so what are the dosha is involved, or we can say what are the impact of dosha in the pandan leaves. It will balance the kapha energy. Okay, so the next spices we are moving on to is the black mustard, right? You might know the mustard, right? So the mustard seed is bitter and the pungent taste. It also like a penetrating and the sharp. So how it's helpful in our body, right? So if you wonder, it also like helpful to enhance the digestive power and for treating some worm infestation, that was helping. And if you have like a itchy skin, you can have this one. Okay, so in some respiratory congestion also is helping, and it also supporting the lung health and the function. So it also have the antimicrobial property. So what else the dosha is involved in the mustard seed, right? So if you wonder, it is like a balancing the kapha and the vata energy. Okay. So here in Sri Lanka, we use the mustard seed for cooking. So most of the curries, we are using the mustard seed. So because of the benefits of it. Okay, so it's helpful. So the next, so I have few more spices as well. So let me explain about these spices. So you know what is this, right? This is the fenugreek. So the fenugreek also bitter and the pungent taste. Okay, so it also light in nature, it also anxious. So how it helpful in our daily consume? Okay, so it will help like improve the digestion, and it also help in management of constipation. If you have the constipation, you can have the relief. Okay, so it also help in like a burn the fat which means the weight management again. So it also helps to reduce the armor in our body and to manage the diabetics level in our body, and it also control the sugar spikes if you are having it regularly. Okay, so the relieving the joint pain also is helpful, and for the inflammation also is helpful, and if you have the like a nerve weakness is also helpful, and to manage the cramps also is helping, and for the healthy scalp also is helping. It also has the nourishing property to the scalp. Okay. So what are the dosha is involved, or what are the impact of dosha of the fenugreek seed, right? So it is like balance the vata and the kapha energy because of the pungent taste. It will increase the pitta energy. Okay. So how you can take the fenugreek in the daily remedies, right? So you can soak 1 teaspoon of fenugreek overnight and in the morning, so not in the empty stomach, so before the breakfast you have to drink the fenugreek seed and you have to chew the chew the seeds. Okay, so it's so much beneficial in the diabetes mellitus and in some cardiac disorders, so it's helpful. Okay, so another thing I can add for the remedy, so you can have like an equal amount of the fenugreek, dry ginger, and the turmeric. So you can boil it together and you can have it. Is so much beneficial in the arthritis. Okay, so the next spices we are moving on to is asafoetida. Do you know? So it's, we are usually calling as hing. Okay. So I will share the screen if you are not seeing the asafoetida. Okay. So is it visible? I think it's visible. So I will show you 1 minute. So asafoetida is like we are collecting the asafoetida from the resin. Okay. So it is also good for the digestion and it also helpful in digest metabolism. Okay, so most of the like Asian cuisines, they use the asafoetida as a spices. Okay, so let me share now. So this is the asafoetida. Okay, so you can see it, right? So this is the asafoetida I was talking about. So the asafoetida is useful, as I mentioned, in digestion and the metabolism is helping, and it also helpful in the reducing armor and treating some bloating gases also is helping. So it also have the antimicrobial property. So it is helpful in like in respiratory issues is helping, and some menstrual pain also is helping to like manage the IBS, which means irritable bowel syndrome also is helpful, and for the nerve health also is helping. Okay, so it also helping to in indigestion. So if you feel like you feel the food is not digested, so you can have it. So you can have these things as a pinch of powder in the oil. You can use it on a regular basis. Okay, so it's so much beneficial to balance your kapha and the vata energy. Okay, so the next thing I am moving on to is this seed. Okay, so let me stop this. Yeah. So the next is this one. So do you know what is this? So this is the fennel seed, right? So it is like a natural mouth freshener. Okay, so this one. Okay. So what are the taste involved in the fennel, right? So it is like a sweet in nature and the pungent and in the bitter taste. Okay. So it also like a light in nature and the dry in nature. It is help to strengthen your digestive fire without causing any heat. Okay, so that's what I want to mention here. So, and it also relieving the bloating, gasiness, burning sensation of your body. It also help to cool down your body and to detoxify your liver and promote lactation and support the high eye health. Also, it's helpful. Okay, so it also acts as a natural mouth freshener, as I mentioned. So most of the South Indians, after the meal, they used to chew it, right? So because of the mouth freshener and for the digestion. So what is the dosha is involved in the fennel? We can say it's like a balancing all three doshas. Okay, so you can boil the fennel, cumin, and the coriander. So it's like a tea, right? The same quantity. You can boil it. So it was helpful in the skin rashes, in the meat burning menstruation, like a meaning burning urination is so much beneficial. Okay. So the next I'm moving on to, so we don't have those spices here. So I thought it's beneficial to explain something is available in your countries, right? So the next I want to share about the spices called um, the sage, right? So you, I think you are using the sage in daily basis as well, right? So this is the sage. This is the sage. So is it visible? I guess. So the sage it's also like a calming your how to say calm your nerves. Okay, so that is like a bitter and the pungent taste and astringent also involved. So it is like a hot in nature, it is the warm herb and it stimulates the digestion, it enhances the mental clarity. Okay, so it also help to purify the body and it also help in thought infection and it also have the antibacterial property. Okay, so what are the impact on dosha? If we can say it is like a balancing the vata and the kapha energy. Okay, so the you can have like in a boiled water you can add like a few leaves of the sage and you can have it for the like calm down your nerves and for the relaxation. Okay, that's herbal tea. So the next thing we are moving on to is you might wonder what is that? This is the rosemary. Okay, so the rosemary the but the taste of the rosemary is like pungent. It is helpful in for the hair growth. Okay, so it also help in improving the circulation and to stimulate the digestion and promoting the hair growth is helpful. And to the scalp health also is helpful and to improve the memories and to give the mental clarity also is helpful. Okay, so in Sri Lanka we are not using that much, so I was thinking about you guys. Okay, so next I'm moving on to the another spices is called, yeah, the oregano, right? So yeah, I think the Western countries, they are using the oregano worldwide, right? So if you ever wonder what are the taste of oregano, that's the pungent in nature. Okay, so it also improving the digestion and relieving the bloating and boosting the immunity level. In the respiratory congestion also is helpful and some relieving the skin like a disease, like some burning sensation to elevate that. It also helping and it also have the antimicrobial property. Okay, so the final spices to for today is the thyme leaves. Okay, so the thyme also pungent in nature and the bitter in nature. It also like astringent in nature. Okay, so it also enhance the digestion. It helpful in the gum diseases. It is like an anti-inflammatory. It also clear the respiratory channel. So it also act against the bad breath. Okay, so that's why I want to share today. So as a conclusion, what I should say, I was wondering, right? So I can say what are the spices you can use, right? So give me a second. So as for the immunity purpose, you can use like a garlic, cumin, and the fennel. You can use it, right? So it you can also use the cinnamon, ginger, and the turmeric for the immune booster. Okay. So the digestion purpose, you can use like a garlic, black pepper, nutmeg, caraway seed, cloves, cumin, curry leaves, fenugreek, sage, rosemary, oregano, and thyme. Okay, these are so much beneficial in the digestion. Okay, to boost your metabolism, you can use like a cumin seed, cardamom, black pepper, clove, and the red chili also helpful to boost the metabolism. And sorry, the mustard seeds and the asafoetida also helpful. Okay, to reduce the armor, so or reduce the toxin from our body, you can use like a ginger, fenugreek, asafoetida, black pepper, and the caraway seeds, and the coriander and the cinnamon. Okay, so to bloating, for most of most of people, they are suffering from the bloating because of the vata. They are using vata inhibitors. So you can use like a asafoetida, fennel, caraway seed, cumin, oregano, coriander. Yes, you can use those things for the bloating. And for the gas, you can use like a cardamom, caraway seed, cumin, asafoetida, and fennel seeds. Okay. To purify the blood, you can use like a cinnamon. You can use like a ginger, turmeric, and curry leaves. Okay. For detoxify your body, you can use like a garlic, cardamom, cumin, curry leaves, cinnamon, turmeric, and the fennel. For the acidity, to relieve the acidity or for the calm down your acidity, you can use the coriander, which means the raw coriander seed. Okay. So for the weight management, so because nowadays everyone's suffering from the obesity and those stuff, right? So you can use like a caraway seed, cinnamon, and the curry leaves for the weight management. Okay. So I think most of the spices I covered today. So you can use your kitchen as a doctor, as a remedy you can use to prevent the disease, right? So you have to be mindful about the storage of the spices. So spices have the short shelf life. Okay, so try to remember to store it in a like a airtight container and without the direct sun and not exposed to the direct sun and without the air, like it's like airtight container. Okay, so you can store it in that container. So yes, so now I will end my talk. So thank you and I go on. Okay, so do you have any question to ask? You can ask now.
If you were to recommend one particular spice, your best, your favorite spice, what would
Mhm.
it be?
So for what purpose you wanna?
Just sort of general health, let's say.
So we in Ayurveda we don't use the like one particular spice regularly, right? We have to
Hmm.
change the spices. So as I mentioned, the ginger is a universal medicine. Okay,
Right.
so you can mix other spices to it, and you can boil and you can make a herbal tea. Or for the cooking also you can use it, but don't overuse it. Okay,
Okay.
yeah,
Great. Thank you, Nisha.
welcome. So any other questions? So okay, so I think it's better to end the um so Runa, you wanna ask me? So you want the recording? Okay, so the Runa iPhone. So you want, yes. So we will upload the video in the YouTube. Okay, so you can see there. So yeah. So thank you everyone for joining the talk today and have a good day. Okay, so bye bye. Take care.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you very much. Thank you. Very good talk.